see all of you good looking people. Come on. Come on. Ooh, Kathy's got pearls on today. Wow, fancy day. Nice. Love it. Suzanne's in her car. That's cool. Awesome. Be careful driving. Everybody ready for this? Bombogenesis, polar vortex, bomb cyclone. Those are all weather terms describing what our weather is going to be on Saturday. Remember the days when the weather report would say Saturday, expect snow. Now we've got all these new special terms and who knows what exactly they mean, but it does look like, I don't know if I can share, let's see. All right, there you go. So there's our forecast from down south to up to Canada. There's a chance of 0 to 60 inches of snow. So that's what's going on Saturday. So plan your day accordingly. It is crazy. The forecasts are all over the place. We're going to get something. We could be on the far west side of this thing and get a couple inches, maybe 5, 6. We could be 13, 14. I even heard one guy say 30 inches in certain pockets. I don't think that's going to be us. Anyway, be careful on Saturday, guys. Maybe you should plan most of your showings on Sunday. So there's the weather report. Most importantly, our mortgage minute. Mr. Paul Leibowitz, what do you have for us? Nothing bombogenesis in the mortgage world.
That's right, Steve. So good morning, Keller Williams. And this morning, I'm Paul Leibowitz from Westport Mortgage, where we are always helping realtors sell and helping buyers buy. Today, I'd like to tell you about the tale of 2 lenders. So lender A gets a referral from a busy Keller Williams agent, and it's a first-time home buyer. He's got his first job, and he's looking to buy the rental that he's been living in. So lender A asks all the usual questions: income, asset, credit, debt. And in the end, they determine that this buyer can only afford about a $250,000 purchase. Now, the problem with that is that the rental he's living in, the seller wants about $400,000 for the property. So obviously this buyer is disappointed. That Keller agent then says, well, hey, call Paul at Westport Mortgage. Maybe they can do better. So in my discussion with the buyer, the first thing I did was check the math. And yes, on his salary, $250,000 was the max that he could afford or he could get approved for. But that was when I asked him if there was anyone else in his life who would be willing or able to be a borrower on the mortgage with him. And it turns out, yes, his father has good income, low debt, and excellent credit. And with the two together, they qualify and can now move forward with the purchase. So the moral of the story here is that as a real estate agent, you want to pick your mortgage partner very carefully. Not just someone who will pay your Zillow costs or somebody that has beautiful mugs or mouse pad swags with their logo on it. You want to pick someone with the experience and the knowledge of the products and programs available, and one that'll keep working with that buyer where others may quit. And that's why at Westport Mortgage, it's more than just a slogan when we say we are helping realtors sell and helping buyers buy. And we've been doing it with Keller agents since 2007. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Paul. Great stuff. Always great stuff. Can they do it? Yes, they can. Most certainly they can at Westport Mortgage. Very cool. All right, let me change my screen here. So, okay. So a few announcements, guys. Some of the usual 9:30 business builders. Debbie Orr, anything special you want to mention today? What's going on? Debbie Orr.
I'm here. We are talking about marketing your listings to obtain one buyer, one seller from every listing. And oh, if you don't have a listing, come anyway, because you can always borrow somebody else's.
Absolutely. We share here at Keller Williams. Absolutely. Okay, 9:30, business builders. 11:30, Command Referral Network. I love the referral network. I think it's one of the most powerful tools on Command. So that's with Joe McHugh today at 11:30. 1 o'clock, Rainmaker Mastermind. All you Rainmakers teams, 1 o'clock today, a mastermind with Rick Scott. one thing that just was brought to my attention, this Saturday is supposed to be our first day of headshots. Free headshots for all of you, and most likely that will be changing. So look for an announcement on that tomorrow. We'll wait until tomorrow to see if we get a more accurate forecast and see what's going on, but most likely we'll postpone that and we'll try to accommodate as many of you as we can into the reschedule. Okay, cool. Moving on to our topic for today, our spotlight is cybersecurity, and this seemed to be important to me. A lot of crazy things going on out there, and we're digitally sending paperwork and all kinds of things, very important information back and forth. And I think it's worthy of a conversation. So I'm looking for Justin Golden. Justin, are you with us? Oh my. There's my worst fear. My guest doesn't show up.
He was trying to get in, he's trying to get into the Zoom room and he was having a trouble with that.
Okay, Tama, can you make sure he has the right number and tell him to type it in?
Yeah, I'm working with him.
All right, cool. All right, so I'll tap dance. What else? What else can we do? Who's got some talent out there who'd like to share?
How about thank you to everybody who came up to Ridgefield yesterday for Deb's amazing surprise retirement party. That was awesome. We had a lot of fun. It was great seeing everybody.
She was really surprised. That was awesome.
She was
really great. Great to see everybody. All right, so Donna Gilbert, I'm going to put you on the spot. Anything new that you're learning with James in the morning these days? I've seen some interesting topics.
Well, I posted a couple of things in our KW 203, some of the 1 o'clock chats that they've been having in KW Connect. I posted yesterday's, which was with Coach Jordan Freed. And basically, he's the creator of the 137, 1 day off a week, 1 3-day weekend a month, and a 7-day vacation once a quarter. And he goes deep into why that's important for building your business and your life, and how you can build to it, towards it, what it means. It's a good listen. I posted it there. You might check it out. Everything is housed in the Pivot Shift Facebook, Pivot Shift Ahead Facebook group. You can find all the recordings there if you missed them. And these are the ones that are also on KW Connect every Wednesday, 1 o'clock Eastern, and a few other days here and there. They're really worth listening to.
Totally are.
Just do it during your lunch.
How that group, what's that group up to? 90,000, Donna? I mean,
Yeah.
96.
Yeah.
96. Thanks, John.
Yeah, absolutely. And new people join every day, which is the interesting thing. This is the most inclusive group. Just come. We want you to, the information and the sharing really is KW culture on steroids.
Absolutely. Any update, Tama? Justin, Tama, Bueller. Love it. Okay, so I'll just comment. I know we talk about the 2 team leader books that we're reading every week. This week is $1 Million Habits and MREI. I have almost finished $1 Million Habits. Dan, have you been in that one yet? Yeah. Okay. So yeah. I found it very interesting. I was expecting more along the lines of, okay, this is what you do to invest and this strategy and this tactic to make $1 million. It's not about that at all. No. It's really about who you are and how you interact with people. It's a very interesting book. So if you haven't picked it up yet, I highly recommend it. And really do it on Audible. It really is. He's a great storyteller. So I'm finding it very entertaining. It's a really, really good book for what it's worth. Cool. All right. Another topic. Family reunion. More of you have signed up. Who else has signed up now?
I think we got another sign up last night.
Yeah, virtual or in person. Who has signed up?
On here.
Come on. No one's raising their hands?
All right, well, remember, we need 15 signups a week in order to have our drawing for a free registration. And
I signed up yesterday, Steve.
Who's that?
David Lee.
David.
All right.
Hey.
Steve,
Nice.
still thinking because my daughter has exactly the same day ice skating competition. So I want to go in person. That's why I didn't sign up. But if I wouldn't be able to go in person, I will sign up virtually.
Ah, great. Well, I hope you can join us in Orlando. That'd be amazing, Anna. But again, guys, if you think you even have some conflicts, and Justin's here, do the virtual anyway, because you have access to all the sessions for 60 days. All right, enough said about family reunion. Justin, hello. Thank you for joining us. You have to unmute, buddy. Justin.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Justin Golden, Golden Technology Services. I'm a colleague of Tama, and I just want to briefly just share with you that hit my news feed yesterday morning. I'm in the IT services with a focus on cybersecurity. A Sioux Falls resident lost $47,000 to a scammer trying to buy a home. First Dakota Title was not involved in the loss, but the chief operating officer, Michael Anderson, scammers try to get into your email with phishing attacks. They look for real estate agents, they look for lenders, they look for buyers that are involved, and then they get a hold of their email and engage in phishing attempts and somehow try to compromise an email. We encourage consumers to look very carefully at email addresses because all they have to do is change one letter or add a letter and it still shows up the same in our email box. It says South Dakota's Better Business Bureau Director Jesse Smith. They said if a buyer or seller has any questions, they should call the real estate agent and bank or call in a verified number. So the FBI has reported since 2020 that the most common form of cyber incidents are phishing attacks. Most of you know that phishing, P-H-I-S-H-I-N-G, is when someone spoofs a legitimate email company and tries to convince you to download a link or click on an attachment or provide sensitive or confidential information, usually with a false sense of urgency. So the idea here is you got to be careful while you're online, both in business as well as in person these days. 3 to 4 people claim to know the risks of clicking on unknown links and emails and that they still click on these links. 97% of consumers cannot correctly identify a phishing email. Up to 90% of security breaches can be avoided with regular online training of cybersecurity awareness. Now, these are some best practices suggestions. When you're online, social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you're doing for trying to create some awareness. The idea there is you should turn that off when you're using your email address, both personal and business, because there's been hacks where people get into social media, then they get into your email and then they're off to the races, literally and figuratively, because they can pose as you and convince people to do things that they shouldn't. Strong passwords or phrases. The new term is phrases. So in other words, a password obviously should have uppercase and lowercase letter and special characters, but you can now do a phrase that only you would know. So it could be, my favorite movie is fill in the blank, or I really love this type of food, and that only you would know what that is. So the idea.
Uh-oh, you went mute, Justin. There you go.
Something that only you would know and no one else could try to figure out. Encryption is the new black. So encrypt your devices, whether it's your laptop or your smartphone, with a numeric PIN or password. People find USBs these days. Probably the latest scam is that people will leave the USB with a virus or malware on it, and you look at it and it may have a famous brand that you're familiar with, Apple, Google, Amazon or something, and they think that they're off to the races when in fact it could have a virus or malware and get loaded onto your computer, and then even worse, get into your network. Dual authentication or multi-factor authentication, whereby you have to provide 2 pieces of information to get access to your applications, is probably a good way to go. And then lastly, when you're online, ask yourself, when you get an electronic message, whether it be an email or text, do I know this person? Have I communicated with them before? And is what they're asking me to do, is it in the normal course of business? Someone I serve on a local board of directors of a charity got an email purportedly from an organization, and it had an Excel spreadsheet, and they were asking her to update her security profile, and you could see where this is going. Obviously, no organization would be doing that, sending you an Excel spreadsheet. They'd be communicating with you in a different way. She realized after she clicked on it that it was illegitimate, and thankfully it never launched properly. So I'm just telling, be careful online. The scammers can be, everything from a bored high school or college kid to people in Central and Asia that are state actors that are trying to get in and steal information and get access to information that could result in monetary or reputational loss.
Wow. All very scary stuff, guys. I see everybody shaking their heads, and writing some notes. Justin, we have limited time on this call, but I'd love to have you back to have a full conversation about this and show these agents some particulars. And they're asking questions about what they could do to ward this off. And I'm sure you have suggestions for all of that. So we'll bring you back and have a full class on this that worked with your schedule.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And thank you, Tamara, for teeing this up for me.
All right, guys, be careful. Make sure you know what you're clicking on. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, and I'll give you an updated weather forecast. Bye.
Bye now.